you.
Like most people never been in a fight nowadays.
Yeah.
Like you meet people,
true.
most guys have never been in a fight. Like, and I'm like, how can you be a man and never had your chin tested? Like,
ooh, chin tested. I like
yeah,
that.
you gotta have somebody punch you in the face. It's funny. I think that's the cry of the transition from like masculinity to femininity for men is the movie Fight Club.
I love that movie.
That is the movie that explains what is happening because they're like consumerism and just, selfishness and fear ridden and no strength.
Yeah.
It's like a mirror of like Tyler Durden and this other guy. I forget his name, the main character.
I don't know. Does he even have a name? I don't even know.
He does have a name. Yeah. His name is Robert Paulson. That's the guy that died, right?
Yes.
Like, in death, we have a name, right?
Yeah.
His name is Robert Paulson.
Yes. I loved that movie.
Yeah. I watched that movie so many times. It's not a morally good movie.
Yeah.
But the movie does depict a lot of things that's wrong with society. It really does bring up a mirror and says, look at yourself. You're crazy.
Yeah.
Like, we're going too far.
We got to fix this. Yeah.
And that's kind of what South Park does too.
Yeah.
South Park, it likes to bring up a mirror,
Yes. It's really interesting watching like those episodes of South Park, different things. Like, damn, they said it.
Yeah.
They said the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, they said it. Like, and the things that nobody wants to talk about, they use satire to explain it. And that's what's interesting. I think that they're attacking now comedians. The cancel culture is even going after the comedian. That's like the last bastion of free speech is the comedian because he can make fun of even the king.
Yeah, exactly.
The only one that can make fun of the king was the jester.
Yeah.
Right? And now you see that they're even attacking comedians like Kevin Hart and how he had a tweet like 10 years ago.
Yeah. And then he couldn't
host the Oscars or something.
Yeah.
Like
that's crazy. That's weird.
Yeah, like good grief, and it was like some stupid joke, and it was like, come on, bro.
Yeah, and it was so long ago.
Like, who cares?
Weird, yeah. So, and then the people that they get to do the hosting also don't have a clean track record. So, like, why are you picking on Kevin Hart? It was weird.
Yeah. Like, it's so dumb. But and then Will Smith slapped somebody.
No, that was weird. I like rewinded and watched it, and I'm like, I feel bad for him. He's been so emasculated.
Yeah.
Like the way that his wife speaks about him, the way that
his sex life, that he wasn't giving her and pleasing her.
I understand having a podcast and wanting to talk about things, but you can't be disrespectful to your husband. I would never. Never. I would never want to emasculate Jake ever.
Yeah. Like if my wife went on a podcast and said I wasn't satisfying her, then I would have been like, okay. I'd call the attorney and then that would be it.
No, you would.
That would be it.
We're done.
That would be it.
We're done here.
I mean, like that's the line.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I don't think there could be anything more disrespectful to a guy than talk about how he performs in bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
To other people.
Yes.
Well, let alone like everybody. To the world.
And then I think that the one thing that most guys run into, like we're going off on another side. I think the one thing that most guys run into with their wives is that they take their vulnerability to her and they let her answer that question of who they are and how strong they are. Like, and she will manipulate it, twist it, and forever control you if you take that vulnerability to your wife. Never do that, guys. And that's what happened to Will Smith. Like, okay, let's be honest. We have Will Smith and Jada whoever.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yeah. Like, who cares about this chick, right? Like, what has she ever done? She's done like 2 movies.
The main
And you're
character.
talking about like, and she was not a main character. Like you're talking about Will freaking Smith.
Yeah.
Like Will Smith has made, like I could go through the list of Will Smith's accolades. And he's like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the guy's lived 3 lifetimes.
Yeah.
Of his accolades.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was a rap star.
Yeah.
He was a TV show sitcom star.
Yeah.
You know, in his 20s.
Yeah. A movie star.
And then he became a movie star, right?
He's great at action movies as well.
Yeah.
All of it. Yeah.
Like, and you're like, this guy has, and it's not like he's been made 2 movies. He's made like 14, 20 movies that were all blockbusters.
Yeah.
You know, like Bad Boys, like freaking Men in Black, like Independence Day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like we could go through like so many of these movies, and you're being emasculated by this chick. Like you don't know your value.
Yeah.
You have this imbalance in this relationship. Now, she's the mother of his children or whatever. Like that adds value, right? But he's also the father of her children, right? Why would you want your kids to look down on your husband?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like,
yeah.
Like, nah, bro, like you've got it twisted. Like he could drop this, I don't know how old she is, and pick up 2 20-year-olds, you know, and in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
He's Will Smith.
Yeah.
Even today with his destroyed reputation and anything, like this guy made Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he was in Pursuit of Happiness. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he's Will Smith.
Yeah. It feels like he's forgotten who he is. It's so sad.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah. And it was like a break.
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw the video and I was like, this guy had like a tantrum.
Yeah.
Like a little kid.
And he was laughing. He looked over at her. She was not laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing you know, he's up there hitting him. And it's like, what is happening?
And I'm like a defensive guy,
mm-hmm.
right? Of my wife. Like you say something to my wife, like I'll call you out. But the problem was this, he lost control.
Yes.
Men are not supposed to lose control.
Mm-hmm.
Women inherently know this,
mm-hmm.
right? Like you want your guy to be strong, be able to defend you, but you don't want to see that other side of him that he
That's
keeps
scary.
it. Yeah. You don't want to see it.
Yeah.
You want him to be able to defend, protect, provide with, and control that animal that he has in there,
mm-hmm.
right? That dangerous side of him that you're attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
Women are all attracted to the bad boys, right? Bad boys for life, right? You forgot that movie, right? And but that masculine strength has to be under control.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a fire is nice in a fire pit,
mm-hmm.
but it's not nice when it's running on your backyard.
Yeah. Under control, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like fire is good if you can control it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the same thing that a man is. A man is fire.
Mm.
He's dangerous. He has to be dangerous. If he has no danger in him, then he's worthless.
Mm.
And women try and turn that dangerousness into femininity.
Mm.
And then you wake up one day and you're not attracted to him anymore.
I literally watched that happen with friends where they're like, I don't know. It's a weird balance because you want, like Jake and I, we're best friends. I tell him everything. He listens. He's sweet. You know, like he'll help me pick out a purse even. I'll be like, babe, what do we think? What do we think? What do we think? He's like, you have that shape already. You have that color already. Try that. No, he doesn't.
Okay.
Do that. So he's like,
don't do
it, sir. I wouldn't like that. But we have a really great balance. But I've watched friends like emasculate their men and tell them, you don't talk to me. You don't this, you don't that. And then they start doing all of those things. And then the women aren't attracted to them anymore. So I feel like there definitely is a balance. Like you want to be able to talk to your partner, but I don't know. I've watched it. I've watched it happen. And they're just like, ew, you're weak. I don't like it anymore.
So me, my wife, and my son, the girls weren't born yet. And my mom were in Ruidoso.
Okay.
I think it's Ruidoso. And we were walking up the street. And my wife wanted to go to a store. And I told her, I said, no, babe, we got to make it for the reservation at this time. If we go to the store, we're going to be late. So we had to go. We had to keep walking. It's like 4 blocks up. So we couldn't find parking, right? And then she's like, oh, right? And then like a minute later, but I really want to go to the store, Edward. Why you won't let me go to the store? And I'm like, it's like, babe, it's okay. Like, I understand. We'll go back afterward, but it's going to be closed. And then I'm like, baby, like, we got to get to the reservation. We're not going to be able to eat, and I'm trying to keep,
the whole group, everybody.
Yeah, because I don't remember the dynamic, but I remember there was a reason why we had to get there. And maybe my mom wanted to eat there. I don't remember. And so she brings it up one more time, right? And I said, baby, we're done. I don't want to hear about it again. That's the end of the discussion. We're going to the restaurant. We already decided on that. And I don't want to hear about it again. And it was like awkward, right? And like my mom was there. It was even so I kind of like walked off like a little bit, like with my son. And then like after like 5 or 10 minutes, when we're about to get there, my mom walks up to me and she tells me this thing. She goes, son, I know we act like we really don't like it when you correct us, but secretly it's really attractive.
Your mom said that.
And I looked over to her and I said, what kind of crazy woman BS are you guys talking about? And she goes, I don't know why it's that way, son, but it's true. Don't tell your wife I told you. And then my mind was just blown. It was that emoji that my mind was like, you women are freaking insane. You know what I mean? As I've kind of unpacked what the heck she was telling me, was that the truth was they want us to take charge. And they're gonna test your taking charge. And it's not bad. It's not coming from, like, for a guy, if I'm in a group of guys and we've decided and somebody keeps doing that, it's the next level is physical. And there's this back of our mind, all guys have this physical side where the conversation can get there real quick, but we can't get there with you. And you know that. So you just push the buttons as much as you want, right? And so guys, but in a guy's world, if a guy does that, it's like a really disrespectful thing. But in a girl's world, it's not disrespectful. It's a testing of your strength thing. And I think it's more of a subconscious thing that women do as kind of, I think it's made for both men and women so that men can grow. When God made Adam and then he took Eve out of Adam, right? Eve didn't have a name yet. She was called like a little man, almost, hence woman, right? Because she was smaller, obviously, right? Women are smaller, especially to me. But traditionally, they're smaller. But in that word, it said companion, but it also meant somebody that clashes against you, right? Which is interesting that word means those two things at the same time simultaneously. So you're made to work with us, right? But you're also made to kind of like confront us, right? So guys, don't take offense to it every time your woman just tests you, right? Because she will. She will test you until she knows she can trust you. And I think it's a subconscious thing that she does to you.
It's interesting. So Jake and I have been together 17 years. And we've had kids for 7 of those years. And I'm very strong. Like, my personality is super, super strong. I'm in charge, but he's in charge, but I'm in charge. It's kind of weird. But once we had kids, I really needed him to, like, be in charge, which sounds weird. But, like, you
needed the help.
I didn't want to be the one. I was like, okay, now you're in charge. I'll give you my input, but like you're in charge, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weird.
It's a weight off of your shoulders.
Yeah, because my focus is on other things, and I don't want to be the number one person making all of the decisions. And he wanted to make decisions, and he did. We make them together.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm louder, and so I get my way more a lot of times. He didn't need to step up, but once we had kids, it was
He
different.
took the position.
He took it, and he was like, "These are the reins, and they're mine."
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great balance. And I'm very attracted to his masculinity.
Yes. and I don't think it has to do with it's not like a general to his troops.
Yeah.
That's not the type of leadership that the head of the household is like. And guys get that wrong because it's not a macho, do what I say and shut up and go make me a sandwich, right? Yeah. Hopefully she makes you a sandwich. It's okay to make him a sandwich, but that's not the point. The point is that leadership is all about sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
So to lead a family and to lead a household, to lead a wife, leadership all comes from sacrifice. Mm-hmm. It's all about serving the group and the community and what the vision of where we're trying to go and how best to accomplish that. And I think that's the role of the head of the household. And it's not to rule over with an iron fist. Yeah. It's to serve and to give and to sacrifice. And that's what true masculinity looks like. Yeah. Men, if you go into the masculine journey and the masculine love is very self-sacrificing, self-giving. It's giving and not asking for anything in return. Mm-hmm. It's not seeking its own. Yeah. Right? And he has to be self-sufficient enough within himself to be able to give excess and not ask for anything in return. Mm-hmm. That's the real masculine strength. Yeah. Right? What's the most disgusting male that you can think of is the guy that's so needy and whiny, right? Like, it's so gross.
I literally have a picture of somebody I know.
Yeah.
And he's like, why don't I have a girlfriend? And I'm like, dude.
Man, you should.
Like, you need to do something else. Yeah. Go to the gym. Yeah. Make some guy friends. I don't know what you need to do, but.
So masculinity we'll do a masculine journey one day. And masculinity can only be bestowed by masculinity. So why women are always asking, where's all the men? It's because they didn't have fathers. Mm-hmm. They didn't have fathers. Or they did have fathers, but they weren't masculine because their fathers were like not even talking to them. Yeah. You know, it's crazy looking up the research on like how kids that grow up without dads, like how different it's statistically so crazy. How often they'll go to prison, how often they'll get into drugs, how often they'll commit suicide, all these things. And it's all because of the fathers, right? It's so interesting. It's all because of the fathers are not engaged. Yeah. Okay, that's it for today, guys. Yay. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one. Yep, bye.